Hey guys, I am Alan, and this is Whiteboard Wednesday.
Alan, what are you doing?
I feel like I'm taking over.
You think just because you've done this for a few weeks, you can take over my position here? All right, let's get this started. Hey guys, I am Andy, and it is Whiteboard Wednesday, where we unpack information that helps your church. If you could do us a huge favor, please like and share this video so we can continue putting out content like this for you guys every single week. So last week, Alan, who's trying to take over my job here, he put together a list of equipment that you would need to kind of get started with live streaming and just different things like that. Well, this week, he's put together everything you are going to need to get started with shooting on a green screen. As you can see, my little brilliant masterpiece
out
there.
very nicely.
Yeah, you know,
I like
a little, just saying, you
Right?
know, I drew that a little, but, you know, just saying, pretty great
Looks good.
picture.
It looks good.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, Alan, what have you got for us this week?
Yeah, hey, we mentioned last week, I'm just going to go ahead and hit this up front at the beginning this week. I'll mention it again at the end, but we've put together a blog post, and we're going to leave a link to that. But we actually have a infographic that will walk you through any type of camera that you might want to use for any purpose. So this week we're talking specifically about shooting on a green screen. Now, I've been seeing a lot of these. I know we have them at our church. We have our church video announcements on a green screen. And this can be utilized. I will say, don't feel like you have to do your video announcements on a green screen. It's great to go into the lobby sometime, or maybe in the auditorium or something like that. But for us, especially because of taking up
the very dark room,
you could do that with no lights.
No
Lights are definitely bad, and we've already covered that. So yeah.
That.
But the green screen, for us, it takes up less space, and so we're able to just do it each week a little bit quicker. We don't shoot every week, but when we do, we're able to have those ready for each week. And then if the background needs to change, because we shot it 6 weeks earlier, we're on a green screen, we can just change the background. So it kind of feels up to date. So when it comes to green screen shooting, there are some things you'll want to consider that will be different from your regular announcement shooting. So we're going to talk about those. First of all, the camera that you use. Now, I will say for our church announcements, we have for a long time used the Canon C100, and the color depth on it is 8-bit. I'm going to recommend that you use a camera that has more color depth than that, but we've been able to get away with it. It's not quite as clean a key as far as taking the green screen out, and it's a little bit harder to work with, but it can work if you're kind of in a jam. Here's what I'm going to recommend. Here are 3 cameras we'll talk about. First of all, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, and I know Andy was back there when I was doing some on the course, and so
they really are pockets.
It's just a really small camera. It's $1,000 retail. I picked mine up for around $600, so pretty affordable, really. And it has, if you shoot RAW, it has 12-bit color depth, and so that just gives you more information to key with. And it will shoot 10-bit if you're shooting compressed. So just to kind of let me explain that a little bit more, because I know I might be losing some people here.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So the color depth has to do with the amount of information that is in the file or in the image. And so if you have an image that is 8-bit, then you have 256 different colors that are represented in that image. When you go to key, you'll choose one of those colors. But because there are only so many colors, you may also be keying that person's hair or their shoulder or something like that, and it can get kind of difficult. As you move up to something that is 10-bit, which the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera will shoot 10 or 12, now you're into 1,024 colors. And so you have gone from having 256 colors to having over 1,000 colors. And so now when you choose a color that you want to key out, it's way more accurate, and it's not going to blend over into their hair. Yeah. With 12-bit, which this one will shoot, now you have over 4,000 different colors that you can choose from to key out. And so the bit depth, it makes a big difference when you're keying. And so these 3 cameras, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera is going to be the cheapest. The GH5, which is a brand new camera, great camera, and it will shoot with 10 bits of color depth. And then the Ursa Mini, the 4K, 4.6K, or the Pro, that will shoot in either 10 or 12-bit as well. And so these cameras, specifically for green screening, are really great cameras, and that's why I'm recommending these, because we are talking about keying here. So
I just want to say, the Ursa Mini is not so mini, Alan.
Yes, we are shooting on one of those right now. It is a pretty sizable camera. If you've seen the full-size Ursa, then it maybe doesn't seem like a mini, but it's bigger than any of the old VHS cameras that you've ever shot with. So I remember when we got ours in, I was showing Andy, and he's like, "That's the mini." Like, I'd hate to see the full size. Yeah. So, but anyway, those cameras great to use for keying. Now let's talk about our studio. I'll be brief here, but I want to talk about a few things. First of all, you obviously need a green screen. Now we have built a studio for us that takes up less space than this room right here. Actually way less space than this room right here. And we just pull the green screen down. It covers up a door, as a matter of fact, and then when we're done, we roll it back up. So we've got our green screen, and I want to talk specifically about these two things. First of all, light your green screen. That is all on its own. You're going to light your green screen. You want it to be as evenly lit as you possibly can. And so you want all of the light. You want to reduce the amount of shadows, and just you want it all to be lit evenly. And the reason for that is if something has a shadow in it, it's a different color. And so if I have a green screen and I light it right in the middle, it'll be one color of green, but if it's not lit on the edges and it gets darker, it's a different color. You might even see this on this whiteboard. I'm not looking at the back of the camera here, but I imagine there are parts of this whiteboard that are really white because the light's hitting it, and there are other parts that might look a little more gray because they have less light on them. So those are different colors that need to be keyed. As much as you can, make that green screen all the same color by evenly lighting it. So you don't want shadows. With that said, if you're lighting your green screen on its own, you need to light your subject on their own. So I see this a lot of times. People just try to do it all at once, just throw lights everywhere, and it doesn't work. You'll get shadows from your subject on your green screen, right? Yeah. And you've probably seen
you're in the middle of Hawaii, there's a shadow,
and then there's a shadow or something else gets keyed out. So we didn't put this on here, but I will also say don't wear green. We've had that happen a few times. Maybe a green tie or just something like that. But
your floating head.
You don't want to wear green on a green screen. So last thing, and this is probably where most people are gonna kind of start to see the magic happen, and that is in the software. Now I will say a lot of people will go to key something and they'll say, well, my software isn't good enough, and the truth is it was your lighting that wasn't good enough. If you have any decent software at all, and I'm going to mention a free one here, you can key out just fine. It really has more to do with your light and the amount of colors that you have in your image, so that could be coming from the camera as well. So first one I'll mention here is Hit Film. That's completely free. They do have add-ons that cost more. Great place to start. It's a non-linear editor. I've edited it with it myself. It is cross-platform, so you can use it on a Mac or a PC, and solid piece of software. Definitely recommend it. Camtasia is another one that's pretty popular. It is Windows only. It will allow you to key. It does cost a little bit. I want to say around $300, and now they have different versions or iterations. One worth looking at. FCPX is Mac only. A lot of people are familiar with it and use it. Very user-friendly. It's also about $300. You can key just fine on it, and I would recommend it if you're on a Mac. The last one I'll mention here is Premiere Pro. This is cross-platform. This is what I use, and if you're really starting to get serious about it, that's what I would recommend for any editor.
Adobe kind
Yes, it comes with the Adobe Creative Suite. And so, for instance, if you already use Photoshop, or maybe you have their $50 package, you probably already have this, whether you've downloaded it or not. And if you don't, it's $20 a month, and you can get a 30-day free trial that will allow you to test out everything that we've talked about here. So I will say, I've tried to keep this brief. I know I've gone a little bit long, but I really go into a lot more detail in this, or on this, in this course that we put together. It's definitely worth taking a look at. We're doing a launch week, and I know that we've left a link where you can get on and you can subscribe to all the information that's coming out about that. This is a really helpful portion of the course, because not only do I address using these cameras, but also I kind of address what you do whenever it's not lit as perfectly as you'd like it to be, and just there's a lot that we kind of go through there, so that's really helpful. The other thing I said I'd mention again is this blog post that we do have, an infographic that will allow you to pick a camera based on your shooting environment and what it is that you're shooting. We've already covered here today the green screen. As a matter of fact, if you get this infographic, it's free to download. There's some more cameras that are mentioned there as well. The GH5 is a super new one, so we added it to the list, but there are some others that you can use. The infographic is a huge help, definitely worth downloading.
All right, perfect. Well, this was Whiteboard Wednesday, and we will see you guys next week.